Warning! Spoiler alert for everything we are about to talk about. Spoilers. You have been warned. Hey everyone, on today's episode of Hubris Syndrome, we're talking about my favorite shows of 2017 so far. Strap in, buckle up. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. 2017, just an embarrassment of riches. Way too many video games, movies, television shows, comic books. There's just too much. We can't consume it all. But today we're gonna go through some of my personal favorite shows of 2017. So first up, a lot of you have heard me talk about this show way too much, I know, but I really don't think that I have actually gotten in front of this camera and talked about it thoroughly and officially. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. undoubtedly had its best season yet. I think back to what this show was during season 1, and it still makes me kind of bitter. You know, I don't often get bitter, but I think of season 1 of this show, and I think of the public perception of what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is because people watched some of that first season and then bailed out, and now they just assume that the show is that when it is entirely different. The show has come a long way, and the first thing I want to bring up, the very first thing, why I love this TV show much, is the emotion, and it's the cast of characters. More than any other TV show I have watched. Get ready for a bold statement, but I swear to you, speaking from my heart and my soul, that this cast has the best chemistry of an ensemble cast I have ever seen on television. Write it down. Draft your tweets. It feels like a family, and that shines through on every single episode. So, and that's huge because it makes danger way more dangerous. It makes it meaningful. When these characters are in danger, I feel that because the chemistry between all of them is so real. They get scared when a fellow teammate is in danger, and that affects me. I have cried during this show. I love it so much. But back to the season at hand. This season, you know, again, I bring up the first season and even maybe a little bit of season 2 when it was about kind of the Monster of the Week style episodes. There wasn't really an overarching narrative. They kind of pieced it in season 1. Season 2 got better with that. But what season 4 did was it broke up the entire season into 3 distinct acts. The first was Ghost Rider. Dawn, show this Ghost Rider. Yeah, eat your heart out, Nick Cage. So the first was Ghost Rider, then it was LMDs, which is like robots, which I wasn't too keen on initially. I was like, no, come on, this is lazy. You know, reading behind the scenes too, they said that they were doing the robots because they spent all of their money and all of their budget on Ghost Rider. I thought that was hilarious. They're just like, yeah, we're doing robots. They look like us, whatever. Don't really have to do special effects. But that turned out to be emotional as hell. And then both of those arcs tied into what is already considered a legendary arc of this show, Agents of Hydra and the framework. And it was this alternate reality kind of what if scenario. And that on paper, again, you think of that. You think of robot impersonators as an entire arc and then like an alternate reality computer world. Those shouldn't have been anything special, and they turned out to be some of the best TV I've ever seen in my life. Just amazing payoffs, great action, and genuine emotion from a family of cast members. Next on my list, you've heard me talk about this one a lot too, I'm sure, but again, I don't know if I've gotten in front of this camera and talked about it. Gotham. I love Gotham for one very important reason, other than it's Batman. It's batshit crazy, no pun intended. This show is it's out of control. Gotham is pure chaos. It's a show that is so serious, but somehow doesn't take itself too seriously. They found a really nice balance with their storytelling. And that is something I love and admire, is that you can have fun and be playful, but it's also really serious and high stakes. You know, and to bring it back to this season, which, you know, just like S.H.I.E.L.D., just like so many shows that get better as they go, this was easily the best season so far. They broke it up into two halves. So last year was Jerome and that whole arc, but it was really this season with the Court of Owls that I was really attached to. So the show can be really cheesy sometimes, really kind of hokey, but it's always endearing. And they're telling their own Batman and Gotham story. And again, it's not even Batman, and that is what I love. This is Jim Gordon's tale. This is the Penguin's tale and the Riddler. Watching these characters play their roles without worrying about Batman and having to tie in Batman is just something fresh to watch. And again, I'm always down for any interpretation of the Batman universe. You know, you tell your own story, and it doesn't need to be beholden to the past, and you just go with it, and that's exactly what Gotham does. They just go for it. The show is crazy. The strain from none other than my main man, Guillermo del Toro, the legend. His involvement has waned over the last couple seasons. He directed the pilot. He directed a little slice of an episode in season 2, and he said he color corrects every single episode, and he's still the executive producer, but for all intents and purposes, he is pretty much removed from the show at this point, which is unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen him direct an episode, you know, at the end. But you know, I'm just gonna say the Strain is not the best show, clearly. You know, some thin characters, some choppy dialogue, but it really doesn't matter because no show looks like it. There's really no other show like it. It's just a beautiful marvel of a show, and it's got some legendary villains. I'm looking at you, Eichhorst, and the Master. These are some crazy evil bastards. And it's also got some great heroes like Strakian and Fett and Quinlan, obviously, you know, and the effects. And there are just some images of this show that will stick with me till the end of time. And that brings us to season 4. You know, I feel like the viewer's patience is finally paying off. Season 4, I'm only a couple episodes in. It's currently airing right now. It's final season, and they're just going for it. You know, the vampires are in control now, which is an interesting setting. It's no longer them trying to figure out all this red tape, political tape. You know, the show got really bogged down, I feel like, trying to, you know, we need to find a cure, and now it's just vampires are in control, we gotta fight back. You know, it's a leaner show and a more efficient show because of it. And I can't wait to see what happens because I don't know how the hell our heroes are gonna get out of this situation. It almost feels hopeless, which is a cool place for a show to be in this close to the end. There's this hopeless feeling, and I really wanna see Quinlan versus the Master. Let's go. Last on the list. You know, Brad and Ben aren't the only ones allowed to talk about anime. I like anime. Not as much as them, but I like anime too. So we're talking about Boruto. Boruto hype. All right. Where do we begin? Where do we begin, allies? So, you hear me talk about Naruto a lot. It's my favorite anime. I love it. I love it so much. Genuine emotions, genuine feels. You know, that anime did not end well. It was insulting, actually. It all makes sense now. They ended on the 500th episode. You can tell they were stretching it out to get to there. And the quality suffered for it. The storytelling suffered for monetary and political backdoor shady reasons. And it's crushing. It crushed me to have a couple episodes of canon during the culmination of a decade of lore. You know, this show has been on for so long. To have canon and then filler and then 1 episode of canon and then 4 episodes of filler and then 2 episodes of canon and then 5 more fillers. It was just start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. It was just ridiculous. You know, you look at Dragon Ball Kai, that's exactly what Naruto needs. We need a Naruto Shippuden Kai immediately. Chop out all that filler, get it out, just gah. Which leads us to Boruto, which I was not hyped for at all. I was done. I was done with Naruto, Michael Corleone style. Just when you think that you're out, they pull you back in. You know, I thought I was out. I thought I was out of this franchise, out of Naruto. I put my time in. I put a decade in. We're done. You know, Michael Corleone. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. And where do we begin? With Boruto. First of all, it's jolly as hell. I'm getting Dragon Quest VIII vibes from Boruto. You know, he's sitting on this train. There's this sick train going through the village, and he's looking down at the city. It's all colorful. It's popping bright colors. Seeing this village years later, you know, there's the train. There's his burger shop that he goes to. He goes to the movie theater, and it even does this cool thing when it shows him and then he's watching the movie. It goes widescreen. Just seeing the village and what it is now is powerful. And seeing the older generation in the background, you know, seeing old man Naruto, it's almost kind of depressing because he got his dream. He is the Hokage now, but he's an adult. He's got responsibilities. He's tired. It's like real life, and it depresses me. You see Boruto as a kid, carefree, running around through the village, having the time of his life. You know, it's the next generation. You have fun as a kid, you get old, you go to work. You know, and speaking of Boruto, that's another huge reason that I am just in love with this TV show. I dismissed it. I passed him over. I was like, Boruto, his son, that's cool, whatever. And he is already an amazing character. He is growing up kind of a life of luxury. He's the Hokage's son. He has a house, a bedroom. Naruto never really had that, you know, a parent's home. And Naruto was a leper, and Boruto gets criticized for riding the coattails of the Hokage. And he wants to prove to the world and prove to his dad that he's better than that. And it's just an interesting story, and he's just a really, really solid character already, and we're only like 15 episodes deep into the show. And it's early, you know, this is definitely gonna change, and this happened with Naruto and the Shippuden as well. It's small scale right now, which is what I love. Right now is the magical time of small scale fights, hand-to-hand taijutsu. There's no nuclear bombs going off. There's no city-destroying nukes. It's just small scale. They barely even know what chakra is. And it's just fun following kids again. You know, it gives me a Stranger Things vibe of watching these innocent kids go through life and full of passion, full of energy. It's just a refreshing change of pace coming off, you know, some heavy-duty Naruto. I mean, the last couple years of Naruto were just so heavy. So it's nice to go back to some of the basics of what I love about Naruto, and that's just jolly characters, slick small-scale hand-to-hand combat, and cozy village. So that's it for the show. Those are some great shows that I have loved this season. There's still a lot more to talk about. The Leftovers I didn't even mention. Woo! Legendary Leftovers. If you want to talk about some of your favorite shows in 2017, like Better Call Saul. I already talked about Better Call Saul on Frame Trap, so I didn't bring that up, but I do want to mention Better Call Saul because it was unbelievably good. If you want to talk about some of your favorite shows in 2017, join me this Saturday at 11 a.m. on twitch.tv/EasyAllies for Talking Syndrome. Just a great place to hang out with all you. We talk about the episode and then other crazy things that always spirals out of control. Also, I didn't bring up Game of Thrones. Didn't bring it up. I know, Game of Thrones, 10 out of 10. What more can you say? I didn't want to be predictable. That's why. But obviously, Game of Thrones. So yes, we are Easy Allies. Follow us on Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, all the social medias, and I'll see you next week.
Time for the syndrome.
You know, talking about TV shows, talking about anime, it got me thinking I gotta go back to Attack on Titan Season 2. Give me a little more time, I'll get caught up.